Until now we have been looking only at my games only, but mating attack could be found and still can be found also in many games of other players, including world champions and the leading players of the world. I want to tell you that if you will look at the best games of the former world champion Anatoly Karpov, you will learn extremely much, lot of useful things. And take the book of the best games of Karpov, where he personally annotates his games. His best games are available in many different languages, and you will definitely learn a lot from them. Here I would like to show several games that made a very deep influence on me, and also they were featuring attack on the black king. I admire the games of Anatoly Evgenievich very much, so this is the game. e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5, a6, bishop a4, knight f6, castle, bishop e7, rook e1, b5, bishop b3, d6, c3, castle, h3. So you see that Karpov is playing the Spanish in a classical way, different from how I play. Nevertheless, the ideas very often remain the same. So the opening phase in this opening really doesn't matter much. Knight e5, bishop c2, c5, d4, queen c7, knight bd2, knight c6, d5, knight d8, and now the move a4. So before proceeding with the active play on the king side, the idea of white is to stabilize the queen side, because if the queen side is not stabilized, then black is able to create some counterplay. So this is the idea of white. Rook a b8, exchange on b5, and now a very strong move b4. The idea of this move is the following. If white proceeds with the normal plan knight f1, then black can play c4, and the knight from d8 will go to b7, to c5, then later black can play bishop a6, b4, and the knight from c5 can go to d3. So this is the plan, how to create counterplay by black. So in order to prevent this plan once and forever, white plays b4 in order to establish the control over the key square c5. Knight b7, knight f1, bishop d7, bishop e3, rook a8, queen d2, rook f c8, bishop d3. The idea is that white sometimes wants to play rook a2, then rook a e1, and win the control over the a line. g6, knight g3, bishop f8, rook a2, c4. So sooner or later black has to play c4 to close the position on the queen side. Bishop b1, queen d8, and now incredibly strong move. Here white played bishop a7. When I've been studying this game for the first time, this move made such a big impression on me that I'm still remembering it. Also, I have used the similar idea, the same plan, in one of my own game. The idea of this move is the following. White closes the line A, then later he plays bishop c2, rook e a1, taking over the control of a line, and when the queen side will be completely secured, black will not have any counterplay here. White can proceed with the play on the king side, playing for attack. So this game is a combined game. So positional elements are combined with a direct attack on the black king, as we see later. Knight e8, bishop c2, knight c7, rook a e1, queen e7, and now bishop b1. So the coordination of white pieces is established, the control over a line is 100% secure, so white can proceed with the attack. Bishop e8, knight e2, knight d8, and now the move knight h2. So the idea of white is to play f4. So that's why I put this game into the chapter with the plans connected with the move f4. Bishop g7, and now the move f4. Here the best reaction for black would be to take on f4 in order to give more space for its pieces, also establishing the control over the square e5. I think taking on f4, black would have more defensive resources. In the game, black played too passively, and he played f6. Now black will not be able to breathe anymore. So f5, g5, and now you see that although there are still all the pawns are on board, black position is lost because his bishop g7 is really bad bishops, surrounded from all sides by the pawns standing on the black squares, and the plan for white would be now to play knight g3, then bishop c2, bishop d1, and bishop h5, exchanging the only good piece in the black position, so the bishop e8. Then afterwards white will prepare the move h4. So now Karpov fulfills his plan step by step. Bishop c2, bishop f7, knight g3, knight b7, bishop d1, h6, bishop h5, queen e8, and now queen d1. Knight d8. It is still only move number 37, so before proceeding to an active play, white repeats a couple of moves in order not to have problems and not to make mistakes in the control. Rook a2, king g8, knight g4, king f8, knight e3, king g8, now exchange on f7. So the same will be happening after queen f7. Then queen h5 is possible with the idea h4 and so on. In the game it was played knight f7, queen h5, knight d8, queen g6, king f8, knight h5. So with still the position materially equal, white has managed to achieve a complete domination of all his pieces. So black resigned. When I've been studying this game for the first time, it made such a deep impression on me that I will always be remembering this game, and in my own chess career, playing Spanish and Italian as white, I want always to achieve the similar result.